In leafy Cambridgeshire lives a feral cat who's angrier than most.
Sid, do you like this little mousie? Obviously not.
Janice Bryant has learnt to accept that her ginger moggy is a cat who's oh so kitty vacant.
Oh, Sid Vicious! I decided to name Sid Vicious, basically because he hissed. And I'm of the punk generation, and I remembered Sid Vicious, and he was complete anarchy, and so is Sid.
I would be very wary about calling a cat Sid Vicious, because I don't know if you know the Sid Vicious story, but he ended up killing his girlfriend and then killing himself. That's what's going to happen there.
Psycho Sid comes and goes as he pleases, up to 5 or 6 times a day, just to feast on tuna, biscuits and cheese, which we all know is the feline version of sex, drugs and rock and roll.
This is an incredible improvement on his behaviour.
Don't touch me when I'm eating. She's touching Sid. Don't touch anybody when they're eating. Let them enjoy their meal. Go up to someone in a restaurant now and just stroke the back of their head. You see what happens.
I know it still looks a bit vicious. I'm really pleased. Ow! Those last words. My first encounter with Sid was when I saw this little face at the hatch, and it's almost like he had a pleading little look in his eyes, and that was a starving cat. And then I thought, I'm going to try and gain his trust. I can't let him starve. I'm not going to leave him out there. So I'm going to encourage him to keep coming in, and I'll do my best for him. No?
Why would you invite a feral cat into your house? You might as well invite a wolf or a tiger or a snake or Harold Shipman. It's a crazy thing to do. They don't play by society's rules. That cat is not going to sit there on your lap while you watch EastEnders. That cat is going to come in, eat its food, have a swipe at you, probably hump something, and then go. 6 times a day.
I absolutely love Janice. She's a crazy cat lady, just like I am. And actually, she's doing a very good job. If you look at Sid's body language, he walks towards her with his tail up. Tail up means I'm friendly, I like you, and I feel happy.
This cat, I think there's something medically wrong with it. Eating 5 or 6 times a day, a good portion of food, and being that skinny, I'd be suspicious.
Couldn't stroke his body. He'd lash out. But with food, I gradually managed to get to the point where he'd trust me a little bit.
If there were cat swear words, those are them.
What's not to understand about a growl and a yowl?
That's where I am now, trying to build on that trust. He's still got his anger management issues, but we are working on them.
He's hypothyroid. I'm telling you now. And I can't tell without a blood test, but he's a hypothyroid cat. He's skinny, he eats loads, he's probably eating at other places, so he's a hypothyroid cat.
Sick.
One of the most common diseases we see in older cats, and he looks like a bit of an older cat, is a thing called hyperthyroidism, which is an overactivity of the thyroid gland in the neck, which basically upregulates metabolism, upregulates everything else. So your heart flies, you're constantly on edge, and you lose weight. And you eat loads, you pee loads, you drink loads, and it's just one of these diseases that we see cats get into. And very, very commonly, their fuse is very short.
The life of a feral cat is not a good one. They won't last long. He's had a hard life, so Sid is what he is, and I love Sid for what he is.
Sid doesn't like you. Just letting you know. Facts.
I love Janice. I think she's an absolute hoot. You can tell she knows cats, and actually, she's probably the best thing that's ever happened to Sid.
Never mind the fur licks. Looks like Sid is hitting the road once more. Next stop on his wild ride, the neighbour's house. What goes on tour? stays on tour.
Ultimately, Sid's a wild cat, and, you know, I do things on his terms, and it's his choice at the end of the day. I don't feel used by Sid. Sid's a challenge.
Sid is a player, Sid is a legend, and then I bet at night time he goes off and talks to all the other Toms in the alleyway, going, I got 6 meals today from those idiots. Tomorrow I'm aiming for 7.